guys, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to talk about the final season of Ozark. I don't know what you would call this.
The series finale.
Season 4B, I guess is what they're calling it on Netflix, because they split the fourth season in half. Do you think that's it kind of feels pointless? How long were the previous seasons? Like 10 episodes or something?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
And this was like 14. I feel like they could have just made it season 4 and season 5.
Right. I think, it's just to build the anticipation.
Yeah. But we're going to get into talking about this. For the first couple minutes, I do want to talk about it kind of just in a general sense. No spoilers. And then we'll get into spoiler territory. Okay. So we'll warn you all because, this just came out, what, Friday?
I think so, yeah.
So some people might not get a chance to watch it yet. But before we get into it, I want to ask that you like this video. Subscribe to our channel and comment down below if you've got any thoughts on Ozark. Are you going to watch it? Are you a fan of this series? What did you think of this finale?
Because I got some thoughts.
Let us know in that comment section below. So I think the first question I want to ask, and again, we're not going to go into spoiler territory, but watching the final episode, the finale of Ozark.
Yeah.
Did the journey feel worth it? Are you glad you watched Ozark? I know that's a big question to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I can say that I'm happy I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're still happy you watched it.
It was worth the investment.
Yeah, I'll say overall, I really enjoy the show.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the show. It kind of, this season, again, we binged this in like, what, 2 days? 3 days? I think it was like Monday to, this is Wednesday right now.
Yeah, surprisingly, we were able to plow through this.
Three days we watched all 7 episodes. I felt like they did a little bit too much meandering for the final season. I would have liked to have seen the pace pick up a little bit. Like they're still doing the politicking and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I just wanted a little bit faster pace. I didn't feel like there was really a whole lot going on for this being a final season until like the last episode pretty much.
Yeah.
And then when we did finally get stuff happening, it all kind of just felt a little anticlimactic.
I like how you say that. I don't think you ever say it right.
Anticlimactic? Climatic?
No, climatic.
I say it how I say it.
You said it in something else, and I was like, I don't think that's how you say it. But anyway.
Yeah, look, I say words, and I don't know if they're right.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, it just felt a little anticlimactic. Again, we're very fresh. Like, we literally just got done watching this 10 minutes ago.
We literally just got done watching it.
But that's my thoughts.
Okay, so... yeah, I mean, can we just skip to the spoilers? Because I
well, one more thing, look, if you haven't watched this season, if you haven't watched this show, I'd say overall I recommend it.
Oh, for sure.
Especially if you like shows like Breaking Bad, I guess Better Call Saul, because that's kind of in the same universe. If you like shows like
that,
which
we haven't even kept up with,
you will like this show. I will say overall, it is not as good for me as Breaking Bad. I've heard some people say that it is. It's even better. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that. All the performances are great. Jason Bateman was fantastic. I think for me, he really shined this season more than anybody. Yeah. There's just some things that he does, like with the character in certain moments, that I just really latch on to. So I think he was the best performance. Laura Linney's, she's always great. The kids, I feel like we're a little bit better this time around. So, and Ruth, what's her name?
Yeah, Ruth.
Julia.
Oh, I don't know her real name.
I know her name. I just can't get it. It's on the tip of my tongue. But
I'm not sure.
I know you're itching to talk spoilers. Okay, so look, if you haven't watched it yet, turn this off.
Warning.
We're getting into spoilers right now, so go ahead, spoil away.
Okay, so with, like you said, this, part 1, part 2 of this series finale, it was definitely a lot of, I think you said like political stuff, kind of like behind the scenes.
I always refer to it as meandering.
Basically, a lot of it showed the ins and outs of, running this money laundering business, which
I feel like we watch the same meetings over and over again. It's like I don't know all the intricacies of what's going on. Right. Like I'm not that smart financially to follow, but
it makes sense. Like there are a lot of scenes where Wendy and Marty, I forgot his name for a second. There's a lot of scenes where Marty and Wendy, have to go to the prison to see Navarro. Navarro, right?
Yeah, Navarro is the cartel leader.
because they're trying to communicate with him, because he's still in charge of the cartel. And so, I guess it makes sense that they have to go there a lot to, pretty much, communicate.
Yeah.
But
And we start this season off with a bang. This is the first big spoiler, but the guy who plays Javi, Ruth shoots him in the opening episode. The guy that shot her cousin in the finale of last season.
yeah, I mean,
So that starts that sets the tone for this part of the season.
he was kind of like the new bad guy, if you will.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, there were definitely some, things that happened in this season that
I would say it opened with a bang and it ended with kind of a bang, but also kind of a whimper
a literal
as
bang.
well.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely things that happened that were like interesting and like kept me interested. But I also had, I think I talked about this with our review of the first part of the season.
Yeah.
I just had a lot of issues with, it's like even though they had so many things that came up that they had to like work their way out of, and I guess the show was just trying to always show us that, they could pretty much make their way out of any kind of obstacle that got presented to them. And so, I don't know, for some reason that part got on my nerves because I just don't feel like it's realistic.
Yeah. Like Wendy Bird's always like, I'll take care of it. I'll get it done.
Right.
This season, it was all about, we are so close. Like she says that like every 5 minutes.
They are so close to getting out of the cartel, and, they want to move back to Chicago to start their, new life. And so there was a lot of just Wendy being this like nasty, she was
on another level this season.
Yeah.
But I did kind of like the sort of switch that we did have towards the end with Jason Bateman kind of being the more like all business
leader
character, and she really let her emotions take over. Like with
Wendy,
her dad taking the kids and everything.
Wendy definitely had like a mental breakdown.
Because that didn't feel like an act. Like I know we thought maybe it was.
Right.
But then like I think by the end of it, it kind of that was real.
It was definitely hard to, I feel like she's definitely hard to tell because, I mean, so she had like a mental breakdown because her dad came back into town and he was trying to take the kids away.
Who her dad also, I just want to say, played by John Boy from the Waltons. Like that's what I know him for. I don't know his actual name, but I thought he was really great too in this season.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely added some
I don't see him pop up a lot, but when I do,
to the story.
He really adds to whatever he's in. He was also in the 1990 It, which I love too.
Okay. Well, I forget what I was going to say now, but
it's okay.
It's okay.
You're talking about Wendy and her dad and how she went to the asylum.
She basically had a mental breakdown, and so you got, she's been so hard and like, just trying to get everything done, and like she acts like she just doesn't care about anything, and she'll take out anybody that's in her way.
Yeah.
So she has the mental breakdown, and then you kind of see her fall apart a little bit. I mean, you kind of see her and Marty kind of fall apart.
What I liked about it is that she still had that attitude, like she's going to do whatever it takes, but it wasn't about the business and the money side of it anymore. It was about getting her kids back.
Right.
So it showed a more human side to her.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, though, is as soon as she like got the kids back, it's like she was very quick to get back into her usual character.
She flips that same energy right back into the business.
Right, and so that's why it was hard for me to like really know how genuine she was.
Yeah.
But
she got the kids back.
Right.
So.
But then again, it's like, I guess that was just showing like, I guess what kind of businesswoman she was, that she was able to...
I guess for me, it was just nice seeing that side of it, because I feel like past couple seasons we've just seen nothing but monster Wendy that just doesn't care about anything.
Mom. Yeah.
So it was nice to see her flip that just for a second, even if it was just an episode.
Yeah.
And care about something else.
But yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, like this finale, when you think of a series finale, like it just didn't do it for me. Like it was still good. Like I said, I'm happy that I watched it. It was good. It was entertaining, but it like you said, it was very anticlimactic, and it just didn't set right with me. It was like, I told you that, well, like we said, spoiler alert, but we've got Ruth. So she gets killed.
Ruth dies. Yeah,
And
she's the what I would say is the big death, the big emotional death.
yeah,
You're
and
supposed
it's
to feel
like,
something.
and it's like I didn't, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because even though I really liked the show and everything, and I don't know, like it just didn't like
Well,
really
you said
upset
something
me.
about like halfway through the show, you're like, I just don't care what happens.
Right.
It's
It's
definitely
like
not a good feeling to have, but I got it. Like I did care what
it's like
happens.
I want to know what happens, like I'm
Yeah.
invested, but it's like
You
I'm
don't care
not
who
gonna
dies.
right, I'm not gonna be like super emotional if so and so dies or
And
whatever.
I think it's just because it's really hard to sympathize with any of these characters because they've all just done really bad and really stupid things. Like Ruth killing that guy at the beginning of the show was very stupid. And it's like, yeah, you're probably going to die now. And I really don't feel sorry for you if you do.
And I mean,
And that's exactly
I
what
guess,
happens.
like there definitely were points where I'm like I hope Wendy dies. Like that, I think I would be satisfied with that.
I guess I was just hoping for something a little bit bigger and grander than just, let's go to Ruth's trailer and kill her, and
Yeah,
that's
I
it. Like
mean,
no run-in by Marty or Wendy or anybody. There was like no attempt to even try to save her.
Yeah.
Which felt kind of weird.
Yeah. So Ruth, she gets killed by Navarro's sister. It's hard to like, talk about all the different
who kind of becomes, I guess, the big bad of this season, I guess.
She basically
to
replaces
an extent.
her son,
Which
was
that
Bobby.
actress, don't know her name, but I thought she was really good too.
Yeah, she was good.
She was pretty menacing.
Yeah.
And then they bring back the woman from the first couple seasons that ran the bar. She was kind of played into things a little bit.
Yeah, and like they did bring in some like old characters.
Doing a lot of flashbacks and all that.
Right. And I didn't really feel like that was necessary to the story. I think it was just them trying to bring these people back just as like an ode to the previous seasons.
And you can really just tell like when a character's getting ready to eat it. they bring back all the characters from their past and they just show them being all reminiscing on the past and stuff like that. With Ruth and stuff sitting on the trailer top, and he was like, is she gonna make it out of this okay? I don't think so.
Yeah. But basically there was this what do you call them, a PI? Is that what they're called? Yeah.
Yeah, the private investigator.
There's this PI that's like been on their case all season.
Yeah.
Trying to
figure out where their brother went.
Well, before that, it was about the woman that got killed in.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name.
Helen.
Helen. That's where he initially came from. But once he gets there, he starts like learning more about this bird family, and he's finding out all these different. Like he knows that there's something major going on here.
Yeah. And then he gets hired by her dad, Wendy's dad, to find their brother.
Find Ben, the brother that Wendy had killed, and so. Like I said, it's if you haven't watched this show, which hopefully if you're watching this, you've watched it. We don't have to explain all the details, but just the finale, that final scene where, we think that the Bird family, like this is it, like, okay, like what else is going to happen? The PI guy shows back up after we think that he's gone.
Yeah.
And he's got the cookie jar that has the ashes in it of Ben, which you didn't even know.
Yeah, you did. I was like, what's the cookie jar again?
Yeah, try watching something with this guy, like literally. But anyway, so he's like, I figured it out. Like Ben's in this cookie jar, and this is evidence, and I'm gonna turn this in, and you are gonna go to prison or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
which was completely stupid on his. Do you know these people? Like, and you go there without backup. Come on.
It was just so annoying because then, here comes the kids and Jonah's got a gun and he kills the dude.
Fade to black and you hear the gunshot.
Yeah, that's literally how it ends. And, I get that was just showing that, again, the birds can work their way out of anything, and they're this family unit.
They're a family unit. That's what the big wreck established, dude. We saw that wreck. I do want to talk about the wreck real quick.
Yeah.
We saw the wreck at the beginning of season 4A.
Yeah.
The part 1.
Why are you calling it A and B? It's weird.
I feel like that's what you're supposed to call it.
Part 1, part 2.
Part 1, part 2. Whatever. Does it matter? A, B, part 1, part 2.
Anyway.
But yeah, the wreck happens at the beginning of the season, and usually like that would set up for the finale of that part, and then that would pick up.
It was going to be significant.
But it was, I know they were just throwing it in there because it's like, look, all these characters are going to be okay until we get to this wreck. And the wreck doesn't happen until the middle of this final episode.
Right.
And then, it establishes, like you said, like they just got their kids back from their dad. They're all together. They're one unit now. They're a family unit. They are together. They are united.
And it was like a moment where they're like, wow, we could have all just died. I'm so thankful that we're all okay and together. And, it's like I get it, but it just also didn't really work for me.
I get the ending. It's supposed to, highlight the fact that they really are too far gone now. Mm-hmm. They're just beyond the realm of
even
human emotion or compassion. They're all business.
Didn't you find it disturbing? It's like the one guy that you think that you might like root for, which is Marty.
Marty, yeah. And he's the one that starts all this. So
well, no, I was going to say, though, in that final episode, he smiled when he saw Jonah walk out.
Oh, he did. That's what I'm saying. That's the moment where you're like, there's no redeeming qualities to any of these people
before
anymore.
That, like you said, the fact that they didn't even try to do anything about Ruth, like when he was so close with her and like you thought he truly cared. So that kind of just shows you.
It does feel anticlimactic, but I got to give it to him for giving us something different.
Yeah, I mean,
guess by subverting our expectations, they did kind of shock and surprise us. So I don't know. I wanted something different. Yeah. It didn't, like you said, it didn't sit right with you, and it didn't really sit right with me either.
Yeah, and maybe that's how they wanted it to be, like the kind of bad guys win, and maybe you weren't really supposed to be rooting for anyone. I don't really know.
But just the fact that it's over, like that didn't feel like it felt like a season finale, not a series finale.
Yeah, I hate
maybe one more season. I don't know.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. I just meant after that. Like I need something else. Like it can't be it. Oh,
it's over.
Maybe a Netflix movie like they did with Breaking Bad.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
Did we ever watch that?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I didn't need it, but I liked it.
Okay. But anyway, there you have it.
That's our thoughts on Ozark Season B.
No,
Season
please.
4A, B, Part 1, Part 2?
Part 1, Part 2.
Okay.
Please tell him that A and B is not a thing, guys.
Part 2. I got it. All right, let's close out this video. I want to know what you think. Put a score on this season.
Oh, gosh.
Put a score on it. Final season of Ozark.
Or maybe the whole series.
Put a score on this season, and then you can do overall. Both. I'm going to make you score twice.
On this season, gosh, I'm trying to think. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. That's fair. It's a good season. I'm not saying, like, it was tense leading into those final 2 episodes.
Yeah.
There was tension there.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of good conversations to be.
A lot of good moments. I liked a lot about it too.
So
I'd say I probably liked this season better than the first one. Better than the part 1. Season 4, part 1.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say I liked it better.
It's hard for me to remember like seasons apart, but anyway.
Because the last season I remember being kind of boring until we got to that Ruth moment at the end, which is like put the highlight on it. I would give this a 4 out of 5, same as you.
Okay.
And I would give the whole show a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
So I give it the exact same. I think it's a really solid show. I just think it misses the mark in several areas. There's just things I would have done a little differently, but I think it's a good show.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the series as a whole, a 4 out of 5 is fair.
Yep.
So there you have it, guys.
That's our thoughts on Season 4, Part 2 of Ozark, the final season. It's on Netflix right now, so if you want to check it out, all the seasons are on Netflix. If you haven't seen it yet, I do recommend you go back and check it out. I think it's worth it. So appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment down below your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.